If you have been feeling exhausted and unmotivated at work, if you find yourself procrastinating more frequently these days, it does not automatically mean that you're being lazy. You might simply be burnt out, especially if you are an Indian, because Indian employees have logged in the highest rates of burnout symptoms. This is according to a study by McKinsey Health Institute. The organization surveyed 30,000 staffers across 30 countries, and it found out that 22% of employees are experiencing burnout symptoms at work. The share was the highest in India. 59% of the staffers reported symptoms of burnout. Saudi Arabia came in second, with 36% of the employees experiencing burnouts. Meanwhile, Chile and Egypt ranked third with a burnout rate of 33%. On the other end of the spectrum, meanwhile, Cameroon had it the best, with only 9% employees showing burnout symptoms. The figure stood at 12% in Argentina and Colombia, and at 13% in the Netherlands and Mexico. Demographically, those between the ages of 18 and 24 had the lowest holistic health scores. And this just reiterated numerous other studies that have shown that Gen Z suffers the most at work. Meanwhile, the study showed that the size of the company also affected burnouts. So did an employee's job role. Respondents in large companies with more than 250 employees had higher holistic health scores than those in smaller companies. And guess what? Managers had the highest holistic health scores, while all other workers reported lower scores and symptoms of burnout. So what really explains the alarming rates of burnout, especially in India, with more than half of its workforce feeling exhausted, more than half? Why really is this happening? There are important questions to ask. But we will get to that in just a bit. Let's first discuss burnouts. What are they all about? And why do they really occur? Physically, a burnt-out employee experiences frequent headaches and stomach aches, intestinal issues. They are constantly fatigued. They fall ill frequently. They also experience changes in appetite and sleep. Emotionally, there is a feeling of helplessness, cynicism, loss of motivation. There is an increased sense of failure, decreased satisfaction. Those going through a burnout may also feel detached or alone in the world. These are some of the symptoms you can watch out for. And coming to our next question, why do burnouts occur? And why are they more prevalent in some countries as opposed to the others? According to the World Health Organization, burnout is the result of chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. Essentially, it all comes down to management. If employees are exposed to stress for extended period, then there is no healthy way to cope with it, and they will end up feeling burnt out. In work environments with constant tight deadlines, long working hours, shortage of staff, unequal and unfair distribution of work, and no work-life balance, burnouts are inevitable. Sometimes HR policies are also to be blamed. Unfortunately, in developing countries like India, average working hours are longer than others. India ranks 7th on the list globally. On an average, Indians put in 47.7 hours at work every week. So amid all of this, in jobs that demand your best every day, in offices that force you to punch in designated hours, how can you look after yourself? How can you escape a burnout? Well, for starters, look for flexible work schedules. And if possible, work for an understanding boss. And if you are not appreciated, by all means, leave. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.